Hello everyone, it's Marie-Louise here, the Danish painter, and welcome to my video. Today I thought I would show you how I begin a large painting on canvas using acrylics. I'm painting outside today because the weather is absolutely gorgeous. To secure my tarp that I have underneath all my painting equipment, I'm improvising using some wooden sticks that I found and also a rock over on this corner. The view I want to paint is the sky and also these fields, these golden fields. And I like this area of shade in the front. I will have to work rather quickly before these shadows disappear. I probably have a few hours and then I'll have to pack it up. I start by adding a decent amount of water to the surface because I really want my colors to kind of run and mingle on the canvas. This is just one way to start a painting, of course. But I tend to use the same techniques on my works on paper as well as on canvas. One of the most obvious differences is the quantities of paint you need when working on a much larger size. I'm using or reusing some containers that used to have yogurt in them, and they are excellent for mixing larger quantities of paint. And you probably also noticed the brush I'm using with a very long handle. This is actually just a brush from the hardware store. I love those. And it's meant for painting behind heaters and things like that. If you don't have a brush with a long handle, you can tape two brushes together to extend the reach. Off you go. So how much is planned and how much is spontaneous when reacting to the landscape like this? There are certainly a lot more distractions when working outdoors. Wind, bugs, curious bypassers asking questions. But definitely also what I'm trying to focus on when outdoors like this is the colors. I'm also thinking contrasts and mark making is some of the things going through my mind. Besides mixing a lot larger quantities of paint, I'm also using different tools. What I was using just there was a scraper, kitchen scraper, kind of a rubber thingy. And sometimes I'm just dripping the paint straight onto the canvas. Large canvases like this take me many weeks and months to complete because of the many layers. So in these initial layers, it's all about really being bold, having fun, and trying some things out. I like to create also different textural marks, and not all of these will show through at the end. There is some experimentation going on, and I do want some control, but I also want to be able to be a bit expressive and spontaneous. So I'll keep switching between using a brush, using a painting knife, using maybe my hands, or dripping the color or the paint directly onto the canvas and then adding water. It can be a bit messy, I guess some might think, but somehow these initial layers, I really feel they add a lot of life to the painting. And also it's just a lot of fun because I'm reacting to what I see around me in the landscape, and I'm just going for it. I'm not at all thinking about the finished painting at this stage, although I am inspired by the colors around me, if that makes sense. Despite the fact that I really love this process, it does take a toll on my back and my knees. So do keep that in mind if this is something you want to try out for yourself, and be safe. Here we see how some of the yellow paint has run into and mixed into the blue paint, and the different tools I used that created some additional texture. And before the paint is completely dry, I'm adding more shades of yellows and kind of warm burnt sienna tones to the area of the field. If you have larger areas in the same color, it's a good idea to try and vary the tone and the texture within that area. It makes it more active and more alive and creates depth, and it's particularly important in a large painting. So this is the time to be really creative. You can drag a rag or some paper towel into the paint to create texture using your brush, your painting knife. Oops, a small bug. The bugs are just really attracted to all these yellow colors. The sun has reached the tarp and the light is changing quickly, so I'm just adding a few last details with some woody pencils. These are water-soluble pencils. At this stage, the painting needs to dry completely before I lift it up and carry it back home with me. Remember, the painting is not done at this stage. There are many more layers to go, but this is a good way to start to activate the canvas. And also, if you have an old painting you don't like anymore, you can easily paint it over like this with many layers. I hope this video was helpful, and if you're interested in loosening up your painting style, check out my free guide. I'll put a link below in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.